Hello, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you here. My name is Gemma. I am a criminologist, I'm an advanced cultist, and I am a mother. I'm so proud of myself. Well, that's why I like to tell you. Why is this? Because people don't want us to be proud of ourselves for our accomplishments. Okay? People don't want us to be. Okay? So if I see somebody and they've done something really good, that's great. Right? That's great. I like that. I look at them and smile that they have good things, that good things have happened for them. Okay? So that's my first reaction all the time. And I'm not lying. So this gets me onto topic. What do we really need to understand about this world? That these people, or anybody, seem to be lacking. Because you might see content creators, you might see people out there who are working and they are lacking something. Okay? What do they lack? So, since COVID, I can see it from a society perspective, I can also see it from an individual perspective. Okay? So what's changed more than anything in this whole plane? And what it is it's the fact that nobody knows how to formulate compassion. Okay? They don't know what it means. They don't know what sympathy is. They don't like to understand. Call me someone from a level playing field to understand. Okay? So this is kind of like where we can default on the Kabbalah. This is where we can usually find ourselves in default, because people don't hold compassion, or they do with sympathy, but they don't, because it's false. Okay? So humanity is kind of in dire straits, and you can see it's everywhere. People can say all sorts of stuff and pretend to be sympathy, but really they're not, or triangulate and lie, because really that's where they are. Okay? They push you into where they are. And this can be a corporation, a business, an individual, society as a whole, somewhere along the lines, right? Match it to where it belongs, or where you can understand it for you. Might just be family and friends. We had a mass separation with everybody in 2020, okay? So this is what we have to really understand, is that when that happened, isolation took place, and it segregated us. And what it did is it stopped us from having what we were supposed to have, okay, which is connections, family. So this is like an Aquarius wound, okay? This is an chironic Aquarius wound, where it evolves around making friends, groups in society, and it was segregated. So why was this? Well, it's an Aquarius wound, so we weren't even in Aquarius then. We were actually in Pisces. Chiron in Pisces. So the wound was originally in Pisces. Hopefully you're following me with this. So if the wound was in Pisces, why was it that we were being segregated under a chironic Aquarius nature? Okay? Why was that? It doesn't make any sense. So they do say that we are in the age of Aquarius now, so I don't really know what that means. I've heard it many times. I've said it myself. We're meant to be in the age of Aquarius. So I can understand this maybe as they're trying to say that Chiron's in Aquarius, but it's not. Chiron is now in Aries. So it was almost like Chiron in Pisces is all of them, all in one. But I don't think so. The wound in Pisces is about boundaries, okay? So it wasn't really a fluid boundary because we was all isolated. So it's almost like that didn't work, you know? And it was a Chiron Aquarius wound instead that was pushed onto the masses. And this was when Saturn went into Capricorn. My return. Interesting, isn't it? So I had a Saturn return, and that's when that happened. Okay, so to understand the wounds that were being presented to us in society did not match the planetary alignments. Okay, so this is how I'm going to get into astrology a little bit and say that it didn't match. Okay, there was a Saturn return, and this would have been in my 4th house, and this would have been about Capricorn energy, so about restrictions within society. Okay, so restrictions within the home as well. Okay, so Saturn 4th house is about being restricted within the home, being controlled over in the home. Okay, so I won't go too much into them about my personal life because I'm not allowed, for various reasons, and also, well, I would if I was allowed, but I'm not. Okay. So we have to understand that, you know, my personal life, like I talk about my childhood. So I was restricted quite a lot in my childhood. Okay. Weren't allowed to go out all the time. I was restricted a lot. Right? So I didn't have much compassion in my home. No, I think readers try and read me, and they can't read me at all. I think I had one reading and it said I had a mum and a dad. I didn't have a mum and a dad. They were divorced. Right? So people don't know everything when they read. And I don't know how they have the confidence to actually say that they are sometimes master intuitives and stuff, because, you know, everything can be changed, right? So I leave that. Sometimes it's good to know, but you just leave it. And there's a reason as well, and there's programs that are created to stop us. So you can get readings and stuff, or, you know, might get some powerful. It depends if you've been overruled or not. If somebody wants to control you, right? Usually this happens because we're jealous. Getting jealous. They're scared of people like who have a lot of power in them. So I have 2,963 my astrology. So people get a little bit scared. They don't know what to do with me. Yay. So, listen to this. I face a lot of hard turmoil in my relationships, resolving like to authority. Okay, so this would be like a Saturn 4th house understanding. So when you understand the Saturn 4th house concept, and it depends where your Saturn is, so you got to look where your Saturn is, so you might have trouble there. And also this can also be undepicted by just understanding where is the love. It's so simple. Okay, there's always love somewhere, right? So it kind of doesn't make sense that, the conduct and stuff. You can tell where there's control over artifactors and why. And it's kind of like you have to find a safety net. Otherwise, they just keep taking advantage. And that's true. They just take advantage. Usually on a 3D plane, people get jealous really easy. And they're always sitting in their fields. Okay, so this is what I explained the other day about the black hole concept, because they're falling into a black hole. So it's not a black sun. The sun's beauty. The sun's beauty. People don't know what that means. They don't like it. Or they take it for themselves. You can see it in them. But they don't push that. Okay? And there's a reason. Because they're not good people, quite frankly. Because they're telling you to go to a black sun, but they're sitting there smiling all happy. Don't go to the black sun. Right? Don't listen to it. Because you're going into judgment. Ding! That's right. You're going into judgment. They're guiding you there. And some people do it with love, which means you're abusive. Yeah. Especially when people haven't done anything wrong. Super duper abusive. And then you're paying people to do it. Super duper duper abusive. Right? No support. No love. So people obviously don't know what compassion is. What's compassion? Compassion. What is compassion? It's sharing kindness. It's sharing sympathy. But not like down, looking down, but on a level playing field with somebody. Okay? So when this doesn't happen, there's a reason. Because somebody else made that decision already to do that. If it was in a corporation or business or something like this. To stop you from rising. Right? And the reason is because you might generate a lot of love. Okay? And there's a lot of people out there that don't want you to. They don't want that program on this plane. They don't want a love program on a plane. Can you understand that? I can't. When I was younger, I used to think that a lot. It used to make me really sad. And I used to cry. Right? So I used to think to myself, what's wrong with everybody? And it's almost like you can just see that they've been programmed. So when you get older, when you're young, you're free, you're jumping around, it's yours. Doo-doo-doo. When you get older, it's almost like they put you in these spaces. And it is like a ritual. Because it's just normal stuff like go to work, eat, or stuff like this. Right? So I have PTSD. So this can be understood as a program as well. You just can't forget, keep going back to it or whatever. It's just like, why is this happening? And the reality is, it's because sometimes people don't want us to get on with our lives. They don't want us to forget. They don't want us to forget about bad stuff. They want us to keep re-traumatising us. Okay, this isn't love. It never was love. Okay, so if somebody says, I love you, but I'm going to hurt you, that's just abusive, isn't it? So we don't do that. Okay? Because it's about power and domination. It's not about breaking a tree. Some people don't want to believe these things, what I'm saying. Because they think they have enough. So they don't share it with everybody else. But they want everyone to help them. They want everybody to help them, but they don't want to help anyone else. Right? This is why. Because they're greedy. And sometimes as well is that when you make this apparent and you come out and you're quite a strong person or an alpha female, an individual like this, what they'll do is they'll break down your archetypal energies, your masculine archetypes. And they do it on purpose. They do it because they don't want this on this plane. They want to take the plane. They want to destroy it. Mars was strength. But it is an aspect of strength. And, you know, I don't believe in all the understandings of different planets, and we all live on different planets. I think it's understanding in our minds of programmable space. So when you look at this, love, what is this about? That's what it is. Right? It's maybe a Freemason concept. And if it isn't, and if Freemasons aren't actually part of this and doing this, and they're just there, well, that's where they are then, isn't it? They're not Freemasons. So we can change this. They're not Freemasons, are they? If they do that, if they don't do it with love, if they want you to give them everything and you have nothing back, it's not love, is it? It's cruel. They lack compassion, care, nurture. They don't want us to be happy, and because they're not happy as well. Okay? So deep down inside, you might look at something and go, oh my God, why is this person being mean to me? Why is this person supping on my negative experiences and gaining power and traction for this? Why are people doing this? And it's because the way the world is run now, it's because it's a corporate super state, and you get money for doing it. You get gifts for doing it, for hurting people. You know, you think that you've got it all figured out because you think you might like have rituals and stuff like this. This is people who are cultists who are attacking me. You might think that you have it all figured out, right? It's going to happen anyway, whatever was going to happen, right? Because I got my downloads, thanks. Reality is that you lot think that you have an overarching power when it was a program originally, when you was all put in it. And the fact is that there are clones in a concept of a program because you can just rewrite it. You have to understand that as well. So you have to really understand and digest what is going on here. What is taking place. People don't want compassion. I think one guy said they want to take that away from this plane. The true significance of love. Love's simple. This is what I always held on to. Love. Right? Programmable state or not. What is real? Love. That's the only thing that's real, that exists. When there's nothing left, what do you have? Love. Right? So, I don't know who's been teaching stuff about being black magician, being up there, you know, understanding. So I understand I'm going to hurt this person in a negative way to gain splendour. I understand I'm going to hurt this person to gain negative. What are you doing? That's not black magician. Do you know what that is? A bully, a tyrant. Okay? And it breeds it. So you associate people like that, you're just going to breed it. When really a love concept is really what's meant to be there and an aspect of support. So, this is usually how they take you out. Especially people like me, since I'm a holy grail. Do you know what that means? I was picked on. Right? Because I spoke about it. And the Chover experiences, which were the programs. And I spoke about it. On my Facebook. And I spoke about the heart, and I didn't even know that there was a connection to this and what I've spoke about before. So the heart is what? It's up there. It's the Northern Lights. And I've been bringing that down all day long, baby. I think it's a bit of a program, but it always starts on a 3D There's a 3D space for it. And what they do is they don't want me to do that, to create northern lights. They say it's the sun that's doing it, which is interesting. In a scientific perspective, they say it's the sun that's doing it. The sun and then Venus. The northern lights, I don't think that's Venus, that's northern lights. And this, they say it's the sun that's doing it. The sun is what? The Holy Grail. They say, oh, the sun's doing it, the sun's doing it. And then what's the sun doing? Well, what's the Holy Grail doing? Bringing, expanding the northern lights. So they don't want to expand the northern lights, do they? So this is why I think I read somewhere it said the sun is going to change its polarity. The sun is going to change its polarity. Is it? Why? Why is the sun going to change its polarity, Google? Okay? This is Venus. Holy Grail and Venus energies. It's love. And you can generate love in many different ways. Right? But you're just inverting it, the concept of it. You think that giving people bad energy is going to raise this, make that more, but no, it's not. What do you think? You're going to invert a Holy Grail and then what do you think is going to happen? You think it's going to create negative energy on this plane? You think that you're going to create negative energy on that polarity? So what are you going to do there? Nothing, it just doesn't work. It just breaks it. But it'll do it outside. He'll do it from an outside perspective. So then everything's just going to go to crap. And you've all got to fall back through on the program that you've been creating. Because you stole something that's not yours. Because you lack compassion. And everybody who's helped lacks compassion. Okay? I don't have anything, is it? And even if it doesn't matter to me. Because your programs have overrode it to make me feel what? Smash my tree. Because what you'll usually find is when something happens, when like you get that ultimate goal, you know, because you've got a goal to like do destruction or something. When you do that, what you'll find is that it won't feel right, and you'll just be like, what have I done? What have I done to this woman? Okay, what have I done to this woman? And then that's when you realise the true significance to a Holy Grail, the 369, and how they can use us to manifest a society of hate, malice, the worst crimes on the world, destruction and chaos. So if I was to say I was a Mayat and understand this, she sits at the crown. She doesn't need eyes. It's a programmable state anyway. It's just understanding these concepts because they're archetypal energies. So let's get back down to understand this. Because they're archetypal energies, but as a manifestor, you manifest out. Okay? So when people want you to have nothing in chaos, it's almost like you're fighting against something else. I think it was Shashmet or something like that. Shashmet or something like that. The opposite of Mayat. So that's kind of like a deity that fights Mayat because she wants justice, order and all that. and the other person just wants chaos, pain, suffering on a plane. So usually it destroys this love, because this is the goal, to break her, isn't it? Your goal is to break me, isn't it? Well, if you break me, you break yourself. And that's a promise. Right? And talk about the kids. You're abusers. You don't know what compassion is. You don't know what sympathy is. You're so wrapped up in being in your own black hole that you want everyone else to be there as well. So, be a black magician because you want to defy odds. You want to take things out that aren't good. So you're a baddie. As a black magician, you're a baddie. Right? We're the baddies. Because we don't want this to happen. So the polarity and the shift is what? You might look like a bad guy because you're trying to stop things from taking place. Or like push things that need to be like more of a crime. Like, so if I say I'm Draco Queen, I want to push this. I want higher sentences for people who have done the worst crimes, which are not recognised in this world right now. So I come down as what? Because this plane is set now. So I'm observing things aren't right, this isn't right, this needs to be more, this needs to be less. In my understanding, I'm going against those people. So what am I? I'm a bad person to them. Because I want love. I want justice. So as an understanding, you know, if I want love, justice, stuff like that, that's good, isn't it? But if the other person doesn't want that and they want chaos, that's bad. But to that person who's bad, I'm bad to them. Do you understand that? So we have to understand now. Love, compassion. And what does it mean to have this? Well, it's protection, nurture, safety, care, trust. And people don't want us to have that. So who doesn't want to have it? And it can go back all to you lot. Because we're going to have that. So if you don't want me to, that's fine. We'll just have to fucking do it again, won't we? You won't find me next time. This, to understand a program, that's just like a definition trying to explain something. It's an archetypal understanding of how a plane works. Okay? So, we can get into that another time, but compassion, love, this is what is meant to be good on this plane. Okay? So, the Holy Grail concept, right? Because I reckon it's Jesus, but it's not. Understand that? Trying to invert Jesus, us. You're trying to invert us, right? This is the reality. So it already happened. So we're going to revert that. Turn it back round again. This is destructive. What's taking place on this plane. since COVID. See this, and all your little rituals that you've done on me. Sometimes people don't even have to do that. You're just 3D big boss men, mate. Or women. Because they want something that's yours. They don't want you to have love. Because they don't know what it's like. Because they have had it taken away from them to make them do their jobs in the first place. So they're all conditioned and trained. So, there's a holy grail. Understand that you have your own mind. This is my message. You have your own mind. It's yours. People want to condition you all day long. You need to get a nanobot out of you. And probably there's ways to do it as well. Okay? There's ways to do that. Let's get that out of you. Okay? Find the good. Right? Don't succumb to the lies. Don't believe what they say. Know in your heart what is true. And never give up. I love you, my children. Always.